Welcome back. So now we have the breakpoint set up so that it brings up these different events, right? So we know when we're changing the view. Now we just need to let the side navbar start working on those views, right? So we need to figure out how we can actually open and close the side navbar. And we've already seen a few examples, but what I want to do now is I want to jump into the API to kind of get some more information about how the side navbar works. Now we've already seen the ShowHide part, so let's just start there. Because we know that if we go in right now and we say navbar open, then it'll show, navbar open to false, then it'll hide, right? So let's try and do that. We want to know when we're getting to mobile content, we want to hide the navbar. So let's just say navbar equals false when we get to this guy. There we go. Oh, we need an equal in there, and we also needed this keyword. You know it, Lars, you know it. So just put it in there. There we go. And whenever we get to the board part, then we actually want to set it to true again, right? That's a simple thing to do. Let's try and see if that works. Jumping back to the code right here, notice as I get closer now, it hit. As I move away, it gets back. Doot, 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 doot. It works. And I can even do this, and then when I get in here, it'll just stay hidden, but when I get back, it'll actually show again. But what if I go in and I want to show it? Well, that also works, but notice it pushes my content. That's kind of annoying. So I want to say whenever that you're showing again, if you're in the small view, don't push the content, just go over the content, right? Can we do that? Yes, you can. So as we scroll down, there's another input right here called the mode, and that can be over, push, or side. Now we want to use the over one instead of the side one when we're on the mobile. So we need to have another setting that we can use. Let's try and jump back here. So I'm going to jump in and add another setting, and I'll just call this mode, like this. And that's going to be a simple string. No, actually, let's just set it to something right away. Let's just set it to side, because that's the normal mode that I've used until now. So let's just change that into a string like this, and there we go. Now we have the side mode, right? Now we want to say that if this mode is in mobile, then we want the mode to actually be equal to the other one, which is, notice they're right here, right? So you can just read them, but the other one is over. So we want to switch to over. There we go. And if we are trying to open the dashboard again, then we want to put it back to side. There we go. So this is pretty much all we have to do for the code-wise. But now we also need to explain that we want to start out with the mode and use this property right here. So jumping into the app component HTML right here, going to the navbar, there it is. Right now notice the mode is set to side. And you guys already remember probably that if I do it like this, I cannot use a property. This would be a string. So I have to, again, just like we did with the open, put square brackets around it, and then I can put in, instead of an actual side, I can put in the mode property. There we go. So now this guy knows that whenever we get back and forth, we'll change the mode. Let's see if it works. So notice right here again, as I move, you'll see the different modes. There we go. Now let's try and click this. Notice it hovers. But there's a small error right here still. So if I go back out, it's not showing anymore. So it's like when I click this guy, I have to click it twice now. There's something wrong. Now the problem is that when we get in here, this is kind of this guy right here is what we call a backdrop. So there's actually a click event going on, but that click event does not set our property to false. So it doesn't say our navbar open is false when I click this guy right here. So we need to fix that as well. So we need to have a click event when I click the navbar backdrop right here. Then I need to kind of set the mode or toggle the mode, right? Let's try and do that. Jumping back to my code, is there something about backdrop in here anywhere? Scrolling down. If we get down to this area, here in the bottom, it says you can actually add a backdrop click to the mat draw container. Okay, sweet. So let's try and do that. Notice it's an output. It's an event emitter, so you already know what this is about. This is just adding a click event, right? So let's just go into the navbar container right here. And there we're going to add, by using the parentheses, backdrop click, pops up right there, helping me out. So we'll just say, if that happens, we want to do the same thing as we do right here. We just want to toggle the navbar, nothing else. There we go. Let's see if that helped. So now that pretty much means that whenever I click the backdrop, it'll also change this property right here to false. So let's have a look. So when I go back here now, and let's click this, and when I click this guy, it's actually going to navigate back. So now notice every time I click it and I click here, it's going to set to false, true, false, true, false. That's actually what we missed, because before it said true, but then it didn't say false, so it was still true. That was why you saw the click before it actually showed again. Let me try and do this now. Comes back. Let me try and do this. Didn't do anything like I expected. And boop, and boop, and boop. It seems that we have a freaking running yeehaw doodly boot working. Yeehaw. That's all it took, guys. That's all it took. With this, because we chose to use a framework, that's how simple it was. So now we kind of have some responsive design for our bars here, showing or hiding, even with some beautiful navigation movement because we're using material design. That's all we had to do. See you in the next lesson where we'll have even more fun.